I remember I had a few friends, and they was all into, I wanted to be cool with them, and they wanted to steal something. So we walked down to this gas station over here, and I walked in, and I had a hoodie on, and I took a Hershey's cookies and cream candy bar, gathered, and we walked out, didn't get caught. And then once we got up the street, we ran. I never get caught, but I felt terrible for doing it. But I only did it just to fit in. I felt really terrible for stealing, and I never did it again. Just go up and down the hill. But the guy that got beat up when I was at his house a few days later called a few of his cousins, and the other guys, about 4 of them, and they started fighting all right here. Like it was like a 4-on-4 fight. There was just people everywhere, and they was fighting. And then somebody had called the cops, so everybody took off running. And I ran up the little area there, ran down the hill, and I went in the house and shut the door. I was scared of going to jail. Even though I didn't do anything, I was just scared. Obviously stayed here. I had a broken relationship with father. Age of 3, left. Had nothing to do with me. So I remember one day, see the plane in the cul-de-sac. My sister, after I found out she was my sister, was playing, and she said he was coming over. And so I probably should go back to the house. And so right over here, and then I walked and I went and I sat on the porch where we was living, and I saw him pull up in a black car. I remember black tinted windows, and then they came outside and came to his car, and they talked to him, and I basically sat there on the porch over there and looking down and just kind of wondering, what did I do for him to not come over here and see me, or why even
has anointed me to preach good news, to take away all of your sorrow and your mourning.
It's a big role in my life as a father figure, and so we was really close with him and his kids and my 2 aunts. I was close to them as well. One of them that had a daughter who was close, the other one didn't. So this is called the Courtyard Apartments. So they were right over here, and we used to live right down over here, right here at this corner area. And we had blinds, and our blinds were open. And it was my birthday, and we had woke up, and my mom came in the room, and she looked out, and there was a gentleman looking right in the window. And she yelled out she was going to call the cops, and then came, and there was something as what we were to call a neighborhood that was kind of in poverty, living in the ghetto. It was just something like we was accustomed to, just like the N-word. We just thought that it was a part of something to be able to say. 3 other buddies, we used to go to one of the guys' house and play this after he got off work, and play some video games, and video games would be getting really intense. And when I used to say it a lot of them, we would sit there and basically say the N-word all the time, almost as if it was just a part of our vocabulary language. And to me, I thought it was okay and acceptable to say it to someone as the same as me, but learned that it's not obviously a good word and shouldn't use it, and so stopped using that. But we used to say it all the time. Thought it was cool, and it was just a part of what we were supposed to say, and it was okay to say it, but it really wasn't.
I'm dancing I'm singing over you songs of deliverance, and I will set every captive free, and you will be with me, and you will be with me.
Grew up on 54th and Norton. So, I mean, the 50s got a bad reputation, but I mean, it was good to me. It taught me a lot. So, I grew up in a house with my stepfather, my mother, my blood brother, and the rest of my stepfather's kids. So, kids that he bought on and took and said we was gonna take care of, and we considered them as brothers and sisters. So it was what it was, you know. Grew up around my block from Cleveland to Myrtle to Norton to Jackson. It was all bloods. Next door to my house, we call them OGs, the older generation. They hung out next door. You know, they sold dope and all that. So had the cars, and I mean, all day long, this is what they did. They sat outside, and this was right next door to my house, so this is what I saw, you know. We used to go outside, hey, can we wash your car, you know. I mean, we halfway washed the car, but, I mean, when you get done, you know, they just handed you money because of the fact that you was trying to do something, you know. There's a hustle about yourself.
I will open up every prison door, so rise and shine, for your light has come, and my glory is rising upon you.
One of the biggest dope dealers in the city living there at that time, and I went to an elementary school that was right down the street from my house, and it's called Jazz Chick. He used to stand outside that school before we went into school and hand out $20 bills and tell us to stay in school. I mean, I didn't grow up bad. I ain't gonna say that. I mean, I didn't witness fighting in my household after my father was gone. After my stepdaddy was introduced to me, I didn't see the fighting and the domestic violence and all that. All I seen was structure and how family was supposed to be so close and stuff like that. That's what he tried to instill in us, you know. But
Because he has anointed me to preach good news, to take away all of your sorrow.
But it's a lot different when you're a kid and you go outside and you see, hey, I got 45 people sitting next door in the yard smoking weed and drinking beers and selling dope and driving cars with rims on them, you know what I mean? And I mean, that's just something that that I looked at. I mean, it was glamorous to us, you know? I mean, it was what it was, you know? And then that came Crips, and it was dangerous for us to walk to Country View, which is on Swim Parkway, and 60th and all that, because you had to roll in 60 with the Crips and all that. So, I mean, we wore our colors, and we walked in groups everywhere we went because of the fact that was the only way you was safe, you know, because if you was ever caught by yourself and you couldn't handle your business, then it was you, you know. So, it was gang violence. It was alright though. I mean, it's friendly, you know what I mean? What's a little fight? Okay, I'll get my eye busted, you know, my lip busted, jaw fat. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I loved it growing up, you know, right there in the heart of everything. I mean, cops that shut our block down looking for people, and people hiding in washing machines and all kind of stuff. You know, you just get to see all kind of stuff. I seen everything under the sun. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing I didn't see. I mean, people shooting craps outside, gambling and all that, and the fights at the park, and then. I could still call any of these people right now, and if I needed them to do anything for me, then it would happen, you know, because that's where I'm from, and that's where we rep it. We called it 54th, and you couldn't call us 55th because that's not us. We 54, 5400. That was our neighborhood. You know, we stood by that. Our block was 5400, and it was what it was, you know, and you couldn't come in there and act like you was from there or think that you was gonna do something over there without everybody on the neighborhood, you know what I mean? And that was just us. It was a protection of our neighborhood, you know, and that's how we were. We were our block, our friends, our family, you know. I mean, and that's our friends was it's like a family, you know what I mean? And that's how we grew up. So, I mean, the bars now, they wasn't necessary. We had them. But it wasn't necessary at all. I don't feel so.
And I will set every captive free.
I used to go outside and fight with my friend across the street, and then we'd fight, boom, go in the house for a couple hours and come back outside and play football. I mean, that was just that.
You are mine.
Point of disrespecting our street.
So what was considered disrespect?
You come on our block wearing blue. You come over there, you throw up the gang signs and stuff in the middle of our block, and you know where we are. And you know.
So I guess what was the point of was it just a power of the speech thing? Because with being all of the same race or culture,
Oh, we had white boys.
There's white boys?
Yeah, we had white boys. We had a couple of them. Yeah, the state around.
Your sorrow and your mourning.
Yeah, the state around the corner on Jackson. They was real cool too. Real cool. I mean, you have to grow up with them. But once you grew up with them, the N word, it was fine.
So the white boy could say it?
Yeah, he could say it.
I will open up every prison door so rise and shine, for your light has come and my glory is rising up.
Oh yeah, it was nothing. I mean, I smoked my first blunt when I was 11. My oldest brother. You know, he's like, okay, before anybody else beat you, here, come on, let's go. We can go downstairs.
I'm singing over you songs of deliverance, and I will sing.
Really. But I mean, when people ran from police and stuff like that, yeah, it's normal for you. Hey, open the door, let them in.
So even if they're strangers?
I mean, this is your block. These people you know. You know, these people you are around all the time. So, you see it.
The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because He has anointed me to preach good news, to take away